Officer Daniel Parker had always taken pride in his job. 12 years on the force had shaped him into a dependable, respected officer in his small town. He had seen more than his share of drama and action, high-speed chases, bar fights, drug busts. But most of his nights were spent patrolling the quiet streets, ensuring his community stayed safe. It was a cool evening, and the streets were mostly empty. Daniel was nearing the end of his shift when something caught his eye. Up ahead, an old rusted sedan was swerving slightly, its left tail light flickering on and off. It wasn't enough to suggest the driver was drunk, but it was odd. His instincts kicked in, and he decided to pull the car over. He flicked on his lights, signaling the driver to pull to the side of the road. Before we continue, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Now cam back to the story. The sedan slowly came to a stop, the engine still sputtering, as if it might give out any second. Daniel parked behind the vehicle, stepped out of his patrol car, and cautiously approached the driver's side. The car's condition was worse up close. Dents, scratches, and years of wear and tear were visible on every surface. Daniel reached the window, tapping lightly on the glass. "License and registration, please," he said, keeping his tone neutral but firm, as he always did during traffic stops. The driver inside didn't move at first. Then slowly the window began to creak open. As the glass descended, Daniel's eyes fell on a man who looked far older than the car he was driving. The elderly gentleman sitting behind the wheel was frail, his hands trembling slightly as they gripped the steering wheel. His eyes were hollow, sunken with age and sorrow. But what caught Daniel's attention more than anything was what the man held in his lap, a neatly folded American flag. The old man looked up at Daniel with eyes filled with both exhaustion and something deeper, something that made Daniel pause. "Officer, am I in trouble?" The man's voice was thin, almost whisper-like, as if speaking was an effort. He looked down at the flag in his lap, his frail fingers running over the fabric gently. "I'm just trying to get to my boy." Daniel felt a lump form in his throat, unsure of what the man meant. "Sir, are you okay? Where are you headed?" The elderly man sighed deeply, staring out at the dark road ahead as if he was looking into the past. "My son, today's his birthday. He's gone now, died overseas. I was just trying to get to the cemetery. Needed to be with him tonight." The weight of his words hit Daniel all at once. He felt the hairs on the back of his neck rise. The man's voice carried a deep pain, and Daniel could see now that this wasn't just an ordinary traffic stop. This man was broken, carrying grief so heavy it seemed to age him more with each passing minute. "How far is the cemetery?" Daniel asked, his tone softening, his instincts as a cop giving way to the humanity of the moment. "About 20 miles out of town." The old man's voice trailed off, barely audible. "I don't drive much anymore, but tonight I had to." Daniel stood there for a moment, thinking. It was clear the man shouldn't be driving, not in his condition. His car was falling apart, and it was dangerous for him to be on the road so late. But how could he deny this man his wish to visit his son's grave? How could he turn him away now? "Sir," Daniel said, gently placing his hand on the car door, "why don't you let me take you there? You shouldn't be driving tonight." The old man looked up, surprise flickering in his tired eyes. You'd do that?" Daniel nodded. "I'll take you myself. It's no trouble at all." A slow, shaky smile spread across the old man's face. He nodded, his hand still clutching the flag tightly, as if it were his lifeline. Daniel helped the man out of the car and into the passenger seat of his patrol car, making sure he was settled before getting behind the wheel himself. As they drove in silence through the dimly lit roads, Daniel stole glances at the man, who stared out the window, clutching the flag in his lap. The night was quiet, the only sound the hum of the engine as they made their way toward the cemetery. After several minutes, the man began to speak, his voice filled with a mix of sadness and pride. "My son, Eric, he was a good boy. He joined the Marines right out of high school, always wanted to serve his country. He was my only child." The old man paused, his eyes glistening in the faint light. He died 2 years ago. Today would have been his 28th birthday. Daniel swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the man's words. He had heard stories like this before, parents losing their children in war, but sitting next to this grieving father, the pain was palpable. "I'm sorry for your loss," Daniel said quietly. The old man nodded, his gaze distant. "It never gets easier, losing a child. You expect to go first, not them. But life, it has a way of taking things from you when you least expect it." They reached the cemetery after what felt like both a long and short drive. The air was cold as Daniel helped the man out of the car, guiding him to his son's gravesite. The cemetery was empty, quiet under the starry sky. They walked slowly, the sound of their footsteps muffled by the soft earth beneath them. When they reached the grave, the old man knelt down with great effort, placing the folded flag on the ground beside the headstone. His trembling hands traced the engraved letters of his son's name. "Happy birthday, Eric," the man whispered, his voice breaking. Daniel stood back, giving the man his space, watching as he spoke quietly to his son, the wind rustling the leaves of the nearby trees. There was something sacred about this moment, something that made Daniel feel like he was witnessing a part of life's deeper truths: grief, love, and the unbreakable bond between a father and son. After what seemed like an eternity, the man slowly rose to his feet, wiping his eyes with the back of his hand. He looked at Daniel, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," he said softly. "You didn't have to do this, but you did." Daniel shook his head. "It was my honor, sir." They walked back to the patrol car in silence, the weight of the night still lingering in the air. As Daniel drove the old man home, they exchanged a few words, but it was the quiet understanding between them that spoke the loudest. When they reached the man's house, Daniel helped him out of the car and made sure he got inside safely. Before he closed the door, the old man turned to Daniel one last time. "You changed my night, officer. You didn't just get me to the cemetery, you gave me a bit of peace. I won't forget that." Daniel smiled, feeling a lump form in his throat. "Take care of yourself, sir." As Daniel drove away, the streets once again quiet. He couldn't shake the feeling that this simple traffic stop had changed him in ways he hadn't anticipated. In his years on the force, he had dealt with countless people, seen the best and worst of humanity. But tonight had been different. The old man's grief, his love for his son, had left a mark on Daniel's heart.